afternoon, everyone. Afternoon is indeed very good today because it's raining and everybody loves this monsoon rains in afternoon. So before we begin, because we have students from all over the nation and we have more than 400 participants today. So I would like to give a short introduction about our training and placement cell. So I would like to tell that we have well-established training and placement cell, and since last more than 12 years, we have been conducting various initiatives for the better training and placement of our students. I would like to highlight some of the key achievements of our department. We are in Campus Connect with Lupin, which is an official tie-up of Lupin Limited, through which Lupin provides training as well as placement to our students. Along with this, they also award our toppers with an award called as Lupin Lupin Scholar Award, through which they pay the cash prize along with the certificates to our M-Farm and B-Farm toppers. We have, apart from this Lupin Campus Connect, we have MOUs with more than 30 reputed pharmaceutical companies. And with these companies, we have been taking several initiatives like guest lectures, seminars, and conferences. One of our such initiative was first Pharma HR Summit, where Pharma HR from various companies of India had participated to directly interact with our students and to bridge the gap between the academia and industry. Out of this, we came with the Pharma HR Society, which was an idea of our principal, Dr. Milind Dumekar, and he's Secretary of Pharma HR Society, and Mr. Akhilesh Mishra, Senior Vice President at Bharat Serums and Vaccines Limited, is President of the Society. So through Pharma HR Society also, we have been conducting several initiatives. Since last 2 years, we have been conducting special programs. Some of them to be named here are Pharma Ugal, where we had entire team of Lupin and expert from each department from Lupin our college to guide our students about their department and what are the future opportunities for our students. From this year, we had started Dhruv, which is an initiative where we are training our students for aptitude preparation and other rounds which they find difficult before they reach the HR round. Now, what has happened that since last 2 years, students, rather than going for face-to-face interviews, they have to go for a virtual interview. And facing a virtual interview is they are finding difficult because sometimes there are technical issues. They don't know how to present themselves. They don't know how to behave and about their body language. So we thought, especially Umekar sir told me to conduct this kind of program where we can train our students for facing the virtual interview. And when he told me this, the first person came into my mind was Miss Revati, because when we visited the TCS 2 months back, that time when I met Revati, I found her very convivial and she's very charming personality. And in this, she's very, in addition to this, she's having rich experience about TCS and pharmacovigilance, especially, which is in boom right now nowadays. I'd like to tell you, Revati, that 21 of our students have already been placed in TCS and Cognizant. So I would like to welcome you, and I am sure that the students will learn a lot and will find this afternoon very refreshing with Ms. Revati. Welcome to Ms. Revati. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, for today's seminar, we have Ms. Revati as our resource person. Ms. Revati is the Regional Human Resource Manager, Tata Consultancy Services, Nagpur. She has completed her MBA in HR from Pune University. Her current role is as HR manager and she looks after employee engagement, welfare and wellness. Thus, for the first time, I request Dr. Milind Dumekar sir to welcome her and announce the beginning of her session. Over to you, sir.
So good morning to all of you. As I am aware, the industry people are very busy, so I will not take much time of Ms. Revati. So I welcome Revati ma'am on the virtual platform of Pharmacy Parivar Committee. I heard a lot of things about the Revati ma'am from the Rashmi madam. So it's the first time I meet her virtually at a SKB platform. So first of all, I welcome Revati madam, and I welcome all the participants on the occasion of this webinar. Uh, Due to this COVID pandemic, many things are changes. And I think most of the interviews now pharmaceutical industry are conducting online only. So because we have physical interviews are not possible. But we found that many of students are facing problems about, and many students have a lot of queries about the virtual interviews. And that's why I discussed with the training and placement in charge, Dr. Rashmi, can we organize such type of program for the students of pharmacy throughout the Vidarbha, so that students should be aware about the virtual interviews and all. And immediately Rashmi suggested the name of Revati madam for this, and I'm really thankful to Revati for accepting our invitation, and bless our students of pharmacy in the Vidarbha region. And I hope this webinar will be really helpful for all our students of pharmacy from Vidarbha region to attend the interview and to face the virtual interviews. So once again, I welcome all the participants and all the teachers on this virtual platform. And I am really thankful to Revati ma'am for her acceptance and for her presence at this virtual platform. So here I would like to announce the program is inaugurated.
Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure is all
Thank you,
mine.
madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you can go ahead. I'll be sharing the presentation.
Sure. Thank you, Madhura ma'am. First of all, good afternoon to everyone who are virtually present here. And special thank to Principal Srimati Kishori Tai Bhuer, College of Pharmacy, and Rashmi ma'am, who have given me this opportunity to interact with all of you, to share my experience and knowledge. Also, thanks to Neha and Madhura ma'am for all their technical support. In today's session, I'll ensure that I don't speak much. Means I'll give a required gyan to all of you, but later I'll be happy if you bombard me with a lot of questions, and I'll be very happy to answer. So quickly, I'll take you through what video in the virtual interview is, how to prepare, what are the do's and don'ts, and then we'll open the house for question and answer. So as we all know, any job interview is nerve cracking. Let it be in-person one or virtual. But definitely I understand virtual interview is especially daunting. You are trying to connect with someone who is remotely placed somewhere, trying to manage the background noise, optimum light, microphone issue, and definitely the potential internet trouble. Mastering virtual interview is one of the important step for subsequent.
Ma'am,
Am I audible?
no, we had lost you for 30-40 seconds, I guess.
Okay, am I visible now?
Yeah, you are visible and audible.
Okay, so I was talking about potential internet trouble, and the same happened with me. So a great virtual interview will have the same ingredients as an in-person interview, but definitely here you are not trying to figure out where to sit, which is a conference room, exactly in which building you will have the interview and handshake and all this welcoming part. But instead, here you are trying to figure out how well you can connect with the person who is placed remotely. Madhura ma'am, I'm not able to see the presentation.
Actually, I have shared it. You should see it on your phone. Maybe you need to slide and go to the presentation part of your phone.
Okay, just let me check. I hope my video is visible.
Yeah, your video is visible. It will remain visible even if you see the presentation just and not change the angle maybe. I mean, whatever you prefer, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. So as I'm not sure on which slide I am, first is about the virtual interview. I'll speak. Virtual interview is nothing but a job interview where the employer or organization, they are leveraging the technology so that the discussion, the meeting or interview happens when everyone is placed remotely. So now we'll understand that how we can prepare for this interview. The most important thing I'll say, we'll start with the technology. Once you accept that you are ready to have the virtual interview, the first thing is you should test your technology. Test your laptop or any device through which you will join. Ensure that your camera is working, your microphone is working, and whatever platform they have given. For example, if TCS asks you to join through WebEx or Microsoft Teams, you should download the app and little bit you should be familiar, because on the D-Day it should not happen. You don't know whether they ask for meeting number, whether they ask for email ID, what will be the password. So better you get familiar with the entire platform. And if you have any issue with respect to your microphone or your camera, I'll suggest that technical help as soon as possible. You should not procrastinate for this. And on the D-Day also, you should ensure minimum 1 hour before that all your applications are working fine, and join the interview at least 5 minutes before. So you should log in by, I must say 7th or before 7 or 8 minutes, so that the logging in procedure happens and 5 minutes before you are into the room. The second thing I will say, that when you are trying to figure out your technical thing, also you should know how to set the scene and minimize the distraction. While testing your technology, determine where to take interview. Decide the place where you feel which is having good light, where you will hear less traffic noise, less number of distraction, and that room particularly should have good internet connectivity also. 10 minutes before, when I'm saying asking you to join, this is because you have to eliminate all distraction. Turn off your TV, turn off your mobile. Tell your family members also that, let's say for the next 1 hour, I'll request you not to speak loudly, or if something happens, handle it in a good way. Even you should sit by a place which will have minimum traffic sound also, and keep a water bottle ready with you. Many a time it happens that when we join, maybe that fear or it tends to choke our throat. So keep a water bottle ready when you are sitting for an interview. When you sit, you should be prepared. Just because you are joining through a laptop, you should not try to change the screen and find out the answer from Google. You aren't aware, but the employer is aware what you are doing. At that time, they might not tell you that you are trying to figure out answer from Google. But that's the thing where you lose everything and they decided not to take you further. So whenever you are going for an interview, prepare well. Prepare for, means you can go for a small rehearsal with your family member, friends, or whoever you are comfortable with, or the best way is to have a rehearsal in front of mirror. Whatever you feel, the basic answer, like your basic introduction, telling about your hobbies, interest, about some subject knowledge, you should rehearse well before. Also, research for the company of which you are giving the interview, because a small example I'll give you guys. If you are trying to purchase a mobile, we generally check what the company is, how the brand is, price, features, camera, everything. But when we go for an interview, we are trying to see ourselves in that company. We generally forget to research about it, but you should. For a simple mobile, if you are going, before buying, if you are doing a lot of research, definitely when it comes to your career, you should know about your organization. Even the employer also becomes happy that when you have decided to give an interview of particular organization, you are at least aware about the basic thing about the organization. You should also keep a copy of your resume handy so that you don't forget any talking points. But here I'll say that you should practice, not memorize. You should not look like a robo in front of them who is trying to say everything at the same time, because the employer who has done interview of thousands or hundreds of people, easily they'll be able to figure it out that you have practiced everything. So again, I'll say practice, but don't memorize. It's important to keep things simple. Being clear is more important than to look very fancy, come up with very fancy words, try to put some fake accent in front of them, not required. You know, English, the way Indians speak, is much sufficient for them to take you as an employee. The next is maintain your body language. Sit straight when you are giving an interview. Keep eye contact. Don't keep looking at the employer, because generally they will see that your eyes are partially closed. Better continuously have an eye on your camera, because that also give a confidence, a smile when you join. The important thing that, and that you should monitor yourself only while giving the interview. Coming up to the dressing part, I'll say nowadays we see a lot of Facebook posts where they Facebook post or any other on social media. They generally show that in virtual interview you can just wear a shirt and tie, and then for the lowers properly it's not required because people will not see you how you have dressed. But I'll suggest that dress properly the same way you would have dressed up for an in-person interview. It, for example, if you decide to sit on a bed because that's giving a good view, it's having a good internet connectivity, it should not happen that when you are sitting on a bed and taking the interview, people will feel that you have just rolled out of that place and you are not ready for it. So better comb your hair properly, dress properly. For male, I'll say it should be formal shirt, tie, and formal trouser. If blazer is readily available, definitely, but I'll not suggest go and buy it. For females, I'll say it can be sari, it can be your kurta, it can be western formal, that is trouser and skirt. Whatever you're comfortable in, you should dress it properly. Professional clothing will show how serious you are about your job, and trust me, few studies they have shown that when you dress properly, you yourself are confident while giving the interview. The next is be yourself. As I told you, a key task for a recruiter is determining whether you are a good fit for their company or not. And when you are trying to be fake or trying to brag a lot about yourself, they will easily figure it out that it's not you. You're trying to prove something, you're trying to show off something. Better be yourself the way you are. Don't pretend, don't use jargons that you don't know much about. Don't try any kind of fake accent, because it's not something really any employer looks for. Then I'll say that once the interview is done, you should send a thank you mail to your employer, potential employer, that it was really nice that I was given an opportunity to interact with so and so people, and whatever your good experience was, you should definitely share with them. Coming to do's and don'ts slides, Madhura ma'am, it's not visible to me, but I feel we are on the do's and don'ts slide.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, your first slide was how to prepare, then do's and don'ts, and I moved on to success in interview.
Okay, can we go to do's and don'ts slide, ma'am?
Yeah. Do's was test your technology, and don'ts, don't lose the focus. Shall I tell you the points?
Open in front of me.
Yeah.
I have opened in my laptop.
Okay.
So once again, I would reiterate that test your technology. Please do not procrastinate. Set the scene, be prepared, and have good details about the organization. When I'm coming to don'ts, don't lose focus. Sometimes it happens that immediately while giving a proper interview, suddenly something happens. We hear some noise, or maybe there is a power cut, or suddenly we feel that it's dark, it started raining, and the place is not having optimum light. That time, politely, you can tell that because of the weather condition, I need 2-3 minutes. I'll try to figure out the next place to take the interview. Don't try to fumble. Don't be panic in front of them. Not required. We all are facing the same challenge the way you will face. Even right now, even I am today facing the challenge. But that doesn't mean it should stop us from giving our best. While giving interview, few people, they feel that being cool in front of people in corporate is something very much required. Recently, I got to know that. But it's not nothing like that. We really like people, those who are professional. Don't move around while you are taking an interview. Sit at proper place. Decide before only that how, in which room you are going to take it. Can we go to next slide now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on the next slide.
Okay. So coming to the success in interview. As I have mentioned in my slide, there are 4 major things which I feel are the ingredients for a successful interview. First is your confidence. Confidence comes when you have all the things ready. You are sure that you are not going to fumble on any of the thing. You are dressed properly. You have memorized everything and not practice. That gives you all confidence, and also monitoring your body language. The next is subject knowledge. Here now we have covered everything about how to face an interview. But when interviewer asks you a question, they'll definitely ask you about your domain. For you guys, it is pharmacy. Have a proper subject knowledge, because any organization, they look for the domain knowledge. That's a pharmacy knowledge that you have. So as you know that there are the few things generally employer will ask. I might not be the right person to talk about the pharmacy domain, but definitely you guys are in better place than me here. So you should have a good subject knowledge. The third is, as I mentioned, prepare yourself in a best way. Let it be dressing, let it be rehearsing once, let it be coming up with a good introduction, your subject knowledge, everything is covered here. And 1 minute, guys. And the next is having a positive approach. Don't be scared. People who are going to take your interview are humans, same like you. Don't have a negative approach, whether I'll be selected or not, whether I'll be able to do it or not. Don't have so much of thoughts while going for an interview. Only you should have a one thought. I have memorized, rehearsed everything properly, and I'm sure I'll give my best. Before starting an interview, take 3 times, you should take long breathe, have a water sip, and then you should start your interview. While giving interview also, sometimes it happens that we miss on any question, or employer points out that you have not given a proper answer to it. Again, don't go into the negative mode, feeling in mind, oh, I have lost everything. I don't think now they will select me. No need to think so much. Till the end of your interview, you should be with same enthusiasm and same tone, same confidence, till the time the employer says that we have done with the interview. That's all from my side, students. And I'll request all of you to please ask question, queries, whatever you have.
Okay, so students, please note that the chat box is open. They can raise hands. We would be patching you with ma'am. You can ask any question.
Whatever challenges also you might have faced while giving any of the interview, you can ask.
Ma'am, we have a raised hand from one of our students, final year students, Uday Biani. Uday,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, Uday.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, the webinar was really good. And the question I had is like the way you said that there are times when there's rain or something, some connectivity issues, and we can tell them that yes, I'll need 2 or 3 minutes. But ma'am, there are some times when, for example, I'm connected through a Wi-Fi connection, and suddenly there's an electricity breakdown and my Wi-Fi goes off, and I don't even have time to tell them that I need to join because I disconnect from there. At such times when I join back, how to cover it up or let them know that there was an issue?
Okay. So first of all, whenever there is a power cut, definitely through virtual medium, you won't be able to interact with them. Immediately, you should give a call to your HR or the recruiter who has given you a call to join. Tell them that this thing has happened because you are not sure whether you'll be able to join after 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 20 minutes. So first thing is you should immediately call your recruiter who has given you a call to join the particular meeting. Tell them that this particular thing has happened and I'll need couple of minutes to again find out the optional, and definitely I'll try to resume as soon as possible. So let's say in just couple of minutes, power is back, your Wi-Fi is working, and now again you are on the screen with the employers. In that, you should say that I'm really sorry, but because of the power cut here, I got disconnected. My sincere apologies. Can I please continue? Politely, you can say this much. I hope that answers Uday.
Ma'am, I think he really had a breakdown. He is in the meeting. Is he? I cannot see him. Yes, Uday. Please unmute.
Yes, ma'am. I got the answer.
Okay. Thanks, Uday.
Ma'am, we have a question on the chat. There is a person named Manoj who's saying thanks for the precise and great pointers. What are the expectations of HRs with respect to candidate profile before the interview? Please share some tips. I know this is a bit different from the topic, but still students have questions. So if you could like to answer.
No problem. So as an HR, I can tell you, Manoj, the first important thing we look for is the person should have good subject knowledge. Second, he should know a little bit about the organization for which he is going to give the interview. Third thing, we want the person to have absolute professional approach. So few examples I'll tell you. Recently, we were interviewing few people where the person was in his casual t-shirt. He himself told that he has not taken a bath and just he got up because uh, the parents told him that it's a interview time, get up now. So that was a so weird and not a very good experience as well as impression about the candidate. So as I mentioned during my webinar also, that you should really prepare well, you should have good subject knowledge, know few things about the organization, and be very professional. Let it be your body language, let it be your dressing or the way you speak.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to ask a question by that time. Like during our online lectures and programs, we have seen that many of our students who live in rural area, many times are on their house terrace or outside their house. And most of the times that is because of the range issue, as what we have experienced. So in such a situation, the things that you said, like the sound around or the background you cannot control. So what would be your suggestion in such times? I mean, I've seen a lot of people sitting on terrace and then the air sound interrupting, or too much of it, or you cannot control the things that are outside. I mean, horn or something like that. But absolutely no solution for them also, because they cannot go at some place where I mean the range is the issue. That's why they are in such a situation. So what would you suggest in such a situation?
Okay. So Madhura ma'am, here I'll say that when you are aware that you are going to face an interview in a couple of days, you have your friends and families try to figure out if they can share their room or a space for the particular day, if that's possible. But still, if that's not possible, beforehand, you should let your recruiter know that definitely I'm going to join through the virtual platform. But these are something challenges which no one can overcome with, because these are the actual challenges of the rural area. But still, even if you're having it on a terrace, I've also faced that. Instead of standing and moving around, take a chair, sit there properly, because when you move while taking an interview on a terrace, it will have a lot of air sound coming in, a lot of noise because of it. But if you try to sit on one chair and take interview, definitely little bit interruption will be there, but it will be minimum. And even recruiter pre-hand will have an idea, okay, this is a challenge, and they will also consider it. even I'll say they'll be more happy to know that someone has proactively approached them for this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. We have a question from Chaitanya Dobre. What does company or an industry look as a perfect employee to hire? Do they look for good CGPA of employee or his or overall skills?
Okay. So I don't know what this perfect employee is. I am not seeing any perfect employee, neither I am. But I'll try to answer your question, dear. So here, as I mentioned, CGPA is something, a mandate. So for any corporate, 60% and above is required. So that is a mandate. But if someone is coming with, let's say, 80% of the score, but is not having proper subject knowledge, is not able to express properly, is not good in communication skill, definitely we will not consider them. But a person who is having less percentage, but he is having a good subject knowledge, is able to communicate, articulate, definitely he'll be a select for us. Score is something a mandate, but not we are looking for the particular rank that if someone is 80% and above, he'll be given preference. No, the day of interview, how you perform, how you express, articulate, and communicate it depends on that D-day how you perform. And definitely again and again, I'm trying to tell you that have a good subject knowledge, because basic HR question about your hobbies and interest and motivation, all these things are okay. But what company looks for is your subject knowledge, because that is something they require from you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a question like, as there are some ethics in an offline interview, are there some online interview ethics too?
Okay, so here you cannot go and handshake a person or try to figure out where I can sit, ask them whether I can sit or not. These are the basic ethics. Generally, I know all the colleges or generally this recruitment program they teach. But here when you're trying to connect someone remotely, wish them when you join, ask them how are you, how is everyone at your family, hope you all are safe, because after this pandemic situation, a lot of families they are affected because of it. So basic you should ask about their well-being, and once you feel even they are settled, you are done with the formal thing, you can ask them that can I start with the introduction. 99% employer themselves will ask you to introduce yourself. And other than that, while leaving also you should thank them that they for their time, for their some if they have shared any experience or knowledge with you, you should thank them for it. That's all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Simran, one of our student is asking, is talking in English compulsory for facing interview?
Yes. The reason also I'll tell you here, Simran. When you are placed in an organization, you work for a particular client and you are not sure whether the client is from India, Australia, Japan, anyone. But English being the global language, this is the one medium you will be able to communicate with them. Just imagine the person is not having any knowledge about English and he is not able to communicate. He is placed in a project where the client is from UK. That's the England, London side. When the person is trying to tell you what are their requirements or what they would like to understand from you, and you are not able to communicate or articulate, that's the gap. That's the biggest communication gap. That's why we require all of them to know. I'm not saying you should come up with an English with a very flowery language and all. Basic English is also okay. But at least you should be able to communicate with them.
Thank you, ma'am. A lot of off-topic questions coming up. I mean, something that is apart from virtual interview. So I would ask you 2 or 3 of those relevant. Like, if with your permission, ma'am, if it is okay. Yeah, okay. So Yogesh Rahangale is asking, most of the times interviewers ask for our salary expectation and we give them a no. Like maybe he's saying that they tell directly to the interview that anything or something like that. So is it fine to talk on this with the HR, as I have seen they allow us to work on the salary as per their company norms?
Okay, so for a fresher, there is no chance of salary negotiation because the salary bar is already decided for a fresher. When someone asks you that what are your salary expectations, just give a simple answer as per the industry standard. As per the industry standard. That's it. But when you become an experienced professional and when you think of switching your one job to another, that time definitely you will negotiate, but not with the people who are taking your interview, like your technical or managerial round. You will discuss that with your HR only.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Vaishnavi is asking which type of co-curricular activities the student have to make, have to do to make a good image in front of interviewer.
No, nothing like that. It's absolutely as per your interest and hobbies. But here, one thing would like to highlight, Madhura ma'am. Many a time it happens they try to mention listening music is my hobby. It cannot be a hobby. Hobby is something you're passionate about. You try to invest your time and effort because you like it. So don't give such kind of answer. Do not copy paste. If someone has written dance, you also write dance. If someone says playing cricket, you also write playing cricket. Don't do that, because the employer, if ask you about, let's say about cricket, and I don't know anything about cricket, they will understand that whatever written might be only one thing they are able to quote. But somewhere the back of mind they'll start thinking, okay, I'm not sure whether the resume is also copy pasted from someone or it is original. So there is no such thing that someone plays cricket or maybe have participated in this college is a very good person and not participated is not a good one. Nothing like that.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, we have seen this like when we have freshers coming up, we ask them to introduce themselves. Like our freshers program is so, and all of them would be telling their hobbies as this only, like listening to music or something that they are non-passionate about. So we have seen this a lot, copy paste. Ma'am, one hypothetical question that suppose it so happens that one very big person of the company comes up for the interview, like and he or she asks, do you know me? And if the student has not prepared about the organization, as you have said, what would be the right response?
Okay. So again, I'll reiterate here, ma'am, that they should know about the organization. You have not seen the person, but at least through the company website, through Wikipedia, they should know few things about the organization. And it will never happen that any big shot will suddenly come in front of you, because their already schedule is so packed that they are uh, not part of this interview things and all. So it's hardly possible. But
Okay.
definitely, if you talk about the organization, it's okay that you don't know the person.
So you say I'll be talking about the organization if I don't know that person, and that would be okay. I mean,
Yeah, you can tell that person very politely, sir. I have not seen you because this entire thing is new for me. Few things I know about organization. If you like, if you give me permission, I will speak about it. But I really don't know anything. Means I have not seen you earlier.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, one of the question is, does lots of certificate play important role during in interview?
Which certificate?
I think it is about overall. I mean, students are on a certificate collecting spree these days. So any event or curricular, that is one notion that they maintain, that if they have a lot of certificates, that makes an impact probably.
No. See, through certificates here I'm considering which is aligned to your subject knowledge, that is pharmacy. If you gain that, there is no harm, but definitely your basic core subject knowledge is something that we look for. Certificates
Yeah, I think they must ask about the certificate, like a seminar on pharmacovigilance, attendance about participation in seminar on pharmacovigilance, or certificate course in clinical trials and all. They may be
So
asked regarding this.
subject related certificates probably the question is asking. Yes, sir, if I'm right.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, here I'll say that will be an add-on thing if they have done it, definitely. But if someone talks about more of the certification that is done and it lacks the basic knowledge of the particular subject, that is, I don't think that will be something an employer will look for. Certificates are definitely add-on. They give you more of an, it talks about more of the current trends and all. But basic knowledge is something I'll say that you should know. But it's up to you. If you want to go for certification, external certification, you can go for it. It's just an add-on to your profile.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Nishita Nagpur is asking which few things are important to know about an organization.
Okay. So about the organization, know their current management, who is their CEO, who is their CHRO, means Chief Human Resource Officer, their MD, in which year the organization was established, where all they have their DC or their branches. All these basic things you should know about the organization, and maybe if something a current news they have about the organization which is really trending, maybe they backed a very good project, maybe their highest position in the stock market, what any of the current news you should look for about that organization. But the basic year of establishment, their current management, what exactly they are into, their where exactly the organization is located. These are the basic things that they look for.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We have a raised hand from Mrunali Dhokne. So if Mrunali, you can unmute yourself, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it always better to get referred or to directly apply to a job? Is it any advantages to get referred from some known person from the company?
I'm not sure about other organization, Mrinali, but in TCS, referral works for the experienced people. But that doesn't mean that if you are referred for someone and you are not able to perform on your interview day, they will take you. No, they just have a confidence that a person comes with a good experience and very much verified background. But for freshers, it's only one common test, that is national qualifier test, that they have to give, and through which they are hired. Means through the entire process of giving the test, facing the interview, and later that. So from TCS per se, I'll say it's nothing like that. That you, if you're referred, you will be sure selected for sure shot, and if you're not referred, it will be a difficult path. Nothing like that. But from other organization per se, I'm not very sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Utkarsh Chimote is asking how much research project impact on selection of candidates for any department in company.
Any departmental company?
No, any department of company, like research project, whatever research project the student has done, how much it impacts on the selection of candidate for any particular department of the company.
Okay, that purely actually depends upon the open position. If they're hiring freshers, definitely they will have a certain criteria, certain area of work already defined, which will be given to you. But let's say in the fresher area also, they are looking for people who are interested into R&I, research and innovation. In that case, your research paper done, the work done related to it will be a beneficial while giving interview. But if the position is not relevant to the research and innovation thing, that may not carry so much of weightage. Definitely it will be an add-on, but not a weightage, because it will depend on the role they are offering to you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. One question is about what are the key considerations for a candidate to create his or her CV? Please suggest for freshers who do not have any experience.
Okay, so basically they would like to know what they should include in a CV, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll say give you a basic details on the top of the page. That includes your name, your mobile number, your email ID, which is working and which you check regularly. Then you should talk about your summary of yourself, that you are a pharmacy graduate or currently pursuing pharmacy, currently in which year, whichever year you are, what passionate you are about. After that, you can talk about Madhura, just one thing. 1:30, I have some meeting, so maybe after 4 minutes I have to log out.
Yeah, ma'am. We do not have any more questions. With this, you can finish.
Yeah. After that, you should talk about the objective, why you would like to work in an organization. After that, you should include your entire education, academic qualification, what passionate you are about, your hobbies and interests. any computer literacy or anything you would like to highlight from technical per se, and your personal basic details.
Ma'am, we could not hear the last part of your answer, but
Okay, no, I'll repeat again. You should have your basic details on top of the page. After that, a quick summary about yourself, the objective, why you would like to work with any organization, or what actually you would like to achieve. Next would be your academic qualification. After that, you should talk about whatever technical things you are aware about, your technical expertise, technical knowledge. That may include your computer literacy also. Next should be what are your hobbies and you are passionate about, and your personal details. You can also put about, before personal detail, you should also put about the internship that you have done, if that is applicable. Research, internship, whatever you have done.
okay, thank you, ma'am. So I think considering the time limit, I'll hand over to Trivedi ma'am for the vote of thanks. And then we would be playing the short college video and with sir's permission ending the meeting. Over to you, Trivedi ma'am.
Thank you, Madra. So thank you so much, Revati. We had been planning since long because I was in connect with Revati since long, but she was so much busy with all her CRS activity. And you are doing a wonderful job, Revati. And I congratulate you because it has been a very successful webinar. And I have seen there are so many questions which are still unanswered because we are running short of time. So it will not take much of your time. And I will be very happy when if you could have this kind of session in an offline mode because we want to invite you to our college. So it's due. So and we are waiting to see you in college. Thank you so much. Have a good day.